I just gotta say this. Satou Sabally, I like your style.
Satou Sabally, the star forward of the Dallas Wings, has just confirmed something major. She's played her last game for the Wings. It's official. After 5 seasons with Dallas, she's moving on.
And then also, you're one of the top free agents in this year. So, I mean, do you have any ideas of what you might prioritize, or do you plan to stay in Dallas next season?
Yeah, I mean, I've already communicated with Dallas how grateful I am because they've made this a home for me for the past years, and I'm working with them together and finding a next home for me because I've already played my last game in Dallas.
And the next phase of her career is about to change the landscape of women's basketball. Sabally's announcement comes as free agency heats up, and it's got fans and analysts alike speculating about what's next for her.
I'm excited for free agency. I'm able to talk to a lot of players outside the league because I have not played on a different team yet. And I'm excited to get to know them more on a personable level, but also knowing how they approach the game. And I just love having basketball conversations and high-level IQ conversations about the game to know where I will fit best in the future.
She's one of the top free agents this year, and there's a lot of excitement around where she'll end up. Sabally's not just thinking about basketball stats. She's also excited about connecting with players she hasn't had the chance to play with before.
I guess, because you said it, Satou, what was Dallas's reaction when you communicated that to them?
Obviously, at first they were still trying, but I think what is most effective is working with the player and listening to their wishes and hearing out how we can find the best solution for each other.
But where will she go? There are 2 teams that are seriously in the mix for her services. The New York Liberty and the Indiana Fever. Both teams have something to offer, but the situation is a bit more complicated than you might think.
We are at a point where we have an attractive group, we have a great organization, we can attract a few free agents to come here and bolster and keep us on the path that we're on.
Sabally's journey with Dallas has been full of ups and downs. She's been a force to be reckoned with, averaging impressive stats like 15.7 points, 7 rebounds, and 3.6 assists per game over her career.
It was always great communication, more so on the agent front now because I need to focus on Unrivaled, and I will. So I'm trusting the people that I have on my staff and the front office with office to solve that further. So I have good communication with that.
Sabally is undoubtedly one of the most versatile players in the league, and her ability to shoot from deep, 45.2% from beyond the arc in 2024, has made her a standout. However, despite her performance, there were hints of tension between Sabally and the Dallas organization.
So Satou Sabally has officially said that she is gone. She is not coming back to the Dallas Wings, which I thought was interesting because I did think that with Satou, with her, Paige Becker's likely going to go to the Wings, with Satou, with her...
And despite the money, her last contract was $195,000 for a single season. It didn't seem like a long-term commitment was in the cards. With the Wings undergoing a major shake-up, new GM, new coach, and potential changes in the roster, it was clear that Sabally's future with the team was uncertain.
Going to go to the Wings with Satou, with Enrique Gambawale. They could have been a really good team. But obviously, with the fact that with the season pretty much still going on.
Enter the New York Liberty, the defending WNBA champions. They've got a star-studded roster that includes players like Sabrina Ionescu, Jonquel Jones, and Breanna Stewart. It's a team that makes opponents nervous. And for Sabally, it's not just about the big names. It's also personal.
Obviously, Satou said that with Unrivaled. As you guys can see here, WNBA free agent Satou Sabally declares time with the Wings is done. Look, the Wings aren't going to give her up for nothing.
Imagine this. Sabally joining her sister, Nara Sabally, who's already playing for the Liberty. It would be a family reunion on the court. Plus, Sabally has a history with Sabrina Ionescu from their time at Oregon, so the chemistry is already there. It's a dream scenario for any player to join a team like the Liberty, especially when you consider the championship pedigree they bring to the table. But there's a catch. The Liberty's roster is full of max contract players, and their salary cap is already stretched thin. Adding Sabally would be nearly impossible without making some tough financial decisions. Could they get creative with contracts? Maybe Breanna Stewart, a free agent, could take a pay cut. Or maybe Sabally would have to accept a smaller paycheck for a chance to win a championship. It's a tough situation, and even if they manage to figure out the numbers, Sabally might not have the same star role she had in Dallas. With so many stars on the team, it could be harder for her to get the same opportunities to shine.
for the Dallas Wings for much longer. Like, we all know that. We all know she's gone. She said as much that her and Dallas are trying to get her a...
Now, let's take a look at the Indiana Fever. While the Liberty's situation is complicated, the Fever have a clear plan in mind. The team has over $650,000 in cap space to spend this off-season, and they're ready to make a move. They've already undergone a front office shakeup, bringing in Stephanie White, a former Fever player and championship-caliber coach, to lead the team. With Kelly Krauskopf back as team president and Amber Cox as the general manager, the Fever are clearly serious about building a championship contender. The Fever have been building something special, with players like Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull forming a core that can make some serious noise in the league. But they know they need more. They need depth, they need defense, and they need someone who can fill that forward position perfectly. Sabally fits that description to a T. She's a versatile forward who can score, defend, and provide the length the Fever need to take their game to the next level.
We are at a point where we have an attractive group, we have a great organization, we can attract a few free agents to come here and bolster and keep us on the path that we're on.
What makes the Fever such an attractive option for Sabally? Well, for one, they've got the money. With their cap space, they can offer both Sabally and Kelsey Mitchell a max contract, something New York can't match. They've also got the roster needs that Sabally fills perfectly. She would add the versatility the Fever need on both ends of the floor, complementing Clark's playmaking abilities and adding even more firepower to an already dangerous offense. But it's not just about the basketball fit. The Fever are offering Sabally something New York can't, a chance to play a key role on a team that's on the rise. With Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell already leading the way, Sabally could be the missing piece that makes the Fever a championship contender. The opportunity to team up with Clark, who's already making waves in the league as one of the best young players, could be the perfect situation for Sabally to elevate her game to new heights. Adding Sabally to the mix doesn't just make the Fever better, it transforms them. They would go from a playoff hopeful to a legitimate championship contender. Experts are already saying that the Fever are in a position to make a serious push, and with Sabally's ability to stretch the floor, defend multiple positions, and score from anywhere on the court, she could be the final piece of the puzzle. Sabally's decision won't just impact her career, it could reshape the entire WNBA. If she signs with the Fever, it could send a message to the rest of the league about how teams should approach free agency and roster building in the future. This isn't just about one player's future, it's about the future of the league itself. So, what's next? Sabally's choice could set off a chain reaction across the league, and we're all waiting to see what happens. Whether she joins the Liberty or the Fever, one thing is for sure. Her decision will be a game changer for the WNBA.